right, so we got 60 orders going out over the weekend, totaling a little over $1,200 in sales. Stick around to the end of the video to find out what sold. These men's denim Guess jeans sold for $25 plus shipping. And this women's dress by the brand Gilly sold for $7 plus shipping. And these women's shoes sold for $22 plus shipping by the brand Allegria. I'm starting to get more shoes listed and now they're starting to sell, which is a beautiful thing. And this men's t-shirt sold by the brand Puma, this is the Dream Chasers model, sold for $12.56 plus shipping. So going over some of the numbers recently and how many hours I'm spending every week putting into this reseller business, I have now got it down to about 4 to 4.5 hours every day, Monday through Friday, being able to take the photos, process the items, put away the items, audit my listers' listings, and then reset back to 0 for the next day. So what used to take me 8 to 10 hours to complete now can take me between 3.5 to 4.5 hours depending on how much coffee I've had. So putting away items, making sure everything gets restocked for the next day, getting ready for photos to be able to process those and then send those off to my listers. So it's been able to really give me some more clarity on how much time I should be putting in to be able to generate X amount of dollars, right? So right now, if we're going to be hitting $160,000 in sales this year, which is kind of what we're projected, we're usually going to be netting between $70,000, $80,000 before tax. So if I'm putting in 20 hours a week, that's a nice little kind of ballpark range to gauge how much money you're making per hour. And you've heard me say time and time again, I'm not really out here to spend more time than I need to reselling clothing, right? So I pick up clothes in bulk. I try to make those last every couple weeks before I go out again to pick up more bulk clothing. So my sourcing is very minimal. My put away is very minimal. And the hours that I'm spending Monday through Friday is literally just taking photos of clothes, putting them away in boxes, and then putting them up on the shelf. And while I'm doing that, I'm auditing my listers' listings. By hiring these listers, it's able to free up an extra 2 to 3 hours Monday through Friday, and that for me is a game changer. So just know I bring this up to encourage you that if it's taking you 8 hours to 10 hours every day for your listings and your eBay processes, it's okay, because I as well was there 2 years ago. So just knowing that as you get faster and learning and dialing in these processes, it's okay if it takes you a long time to start, but through the repetition, it's going to decrease the time it takes for you to do all of these things. And then maybe it's up to you in a couple years if you want to hire a lister. So it is possible to do over $100,000 in sales just working 4 hours a day, Monday through Friday. And now that's opening up my eyes to being like, well, now what if I hire another lister, and so forth. So right now we're doing 50 listings a day. I'm very happy with that. That's as much as I can manage right now successfully while we continue to grow our store, as we're only selling between 25 and 30 items a day. So we're usually plus 20 every day that items get listed on eBay. So just want to encourage you guys, no matter where you're at, you can get there too. It just takes a lot of persistence and dialing in of your systems. Let's get back into what sold. This Patagonia women's extra small sweater sold for $20 plus shipping. And this men's Ocean Pacific vintage button-up shirt sold for $11 plus shipping. And these women's starter shorts sold for $6 plus shipping. And this vintage women's Victoria Holly shirt sold for $11.17 plus shipping. Just wanted to get into some of your guys' questions that I love answering. And if you have a question about any of my processes here, just leave them in the comment section down below and we'll add them to the videos to answer any questions that you may have. WNRR2696 asks, they wonder if they have rag houses in the UK as well. Rag houses are everywhere. They are a system to be able to help minimize clothing and textiles going into the landfills. So rag houses, what their mission is to cut up textiles into mechanic shop towels, carpet insulation, any way that a textile can be upcycled and kept out of landfills. That's where rag houses really make their money, is by buying large amounts of clothing in bulk, tractor trailer loads, and they have people there that process it and turn it into shop towels and whatnot. So rag houses are everywhere. They're in China, they're in Japan, they're in Guam, they're everywhere. They are a needed system to be able to process large amounts of clothing. Without a rag house in your area, there will be far more clothing going into the landfills. So you just gotta be on the lookout for them. You know, it's a bolo, right? If you want to be able to update your sourcing and get better at sourcing and maybe have a little less competition, just start doing your due diligence and researching on where do clothes go after Goodwill? Where do clothes go after the thrift store has no place for them? So you're going to want to do the research. All right, so we had another pair of shorts sell. This is an Athletic Works women's shorts extra large. Sold for $7 plus shipping. Athletic Works is a Walmart brand. So first of all, I'm really liking pulling the orders from this type of system. Not only does it save your time, but it helps you minimize losing orders. So this is 10-867, and we got 10-863, 10-867. I would highly suggest, if anyone is looking to get into this type of inventory system, you're going to want to check linked down below where I have access to the same racks that I use, the types of boxes and poly bags as well. So if you're looking to get into more of a sequential numbered system, you're going to want to check those out. I think that is going to be really helpful for you because you're able to now avoid digging in bins or avoid just throwing your items on the floor and hoping that you're going to find them. You're going to want some type of organized system like this to be able to expand and grow your business. This is modular, so you're able to just keep adding and adding and adding rows as your business grows. And it was probably one of the best things that I did early on in my business to avoid the dreaded bins that you see there. Though they are great for the first couple hundred items, I just got tired of digging and digging. And we have this Tech Gear women's sweater sold for $10 plus shipping. It is still surprising to me that we're still selling quite a few sweaters and jackets. So we had another jacket just sell. This is a men's blazer by the brand Kroon. This is from the storage unit buyout I did last year. So anytime I get a jacket or a sweater sale from that purchase, I'm saying praise the Lord, because I do not want these items staying around any longer than they need to. You can see the SKU number was 6788, so this item had sat for over a year in my inventory. Just had this super random thing sell out of my eBay store, and it is a Blomus tea caddy for holding your loose leaf tea. This is a random item that came from the storage unit, and it sold for $6 plus shipping. I was experimenting with listing some of these random items a while ago and just happy that this had sold. This Prana hat sold for $20 plus shipping. I'm starting to list a lot more hats lately, or actually my listers are listing the hats, but I'm starting to get most of the hats listed, as that is something that I've been avoiding for quite some time. But thankful for this sale. Prana is a really nice, just a solid brand all around. Their jeans, their shorts, t-shirts sell really well. But hey, starting to get these hats listed, starting to get them sold. What I do is when I have a batch of 30, 50, 100 hats, I'll start listing them one a day, because I think it's really important that you stay active in those categories for as long as you can. Because I've noticed when you don't stay active in those categories, you start to just, your sales traffic diminishes. So if you have thousands of hats listed, but you're not listing hats every day, you're gonna see your sales in those categories fluctuate. This is a men's Kenneth Cole button-up shirt. It is a seersucker fabric. You can see the little ripples there. That is a really nice summertime material, seersucker, and a great keyword to add into any of your titles that you might be listing items that have that type of fabric. So I think it's really important to understand mastering the items that you're listing. And if you are a clothing reseller, this is so important for you to be able to structure your titles to make sure that they're optimized for search. And this is why I've developed the guide found in the link in the description down below, the complete guide to eBay clothing item specifics, with over hundreds of item specifics on eBay to help you guys learn and master the keywords that are relevant to the items that you're listing. This is so needed, and I guarantee you after you are done reading this book, you are going to be an expert and a master in clothing. So you can find it linked down below, and also the hardcover is available on Amazon as well, just for a couple dollars extra. It really helps support the channel as well. So I really wanted this because when I was first listing clothing, I was tired of going to Google, going back to searching over here, searching over there, just to be able to find out what a boat neck was, what a dolman sleeve was. So now this guide has it all compiled together with photos and definitions ready for you to learn and start getting better keywords for your titles. So you can check it out, and I know it could be a really good help for you. Here's an interesting brand. This is the brand Fink, and these are just some men's chino pants that sold for $9 plus shipping. Here's some Free People women's jogging sweatpants. They had a lot of stains on them, and they still sold for $17 plus shipping. Here's a great brand to be on the lookout for. This is just a men's button-up shirt by Charles Tyrwhitt. So this is a really good brand, decent men's button-up shirts. Here's some women's Lululemon leggings. They had a few stains on them and still sold for $10 plus shipping. This is a men's t-shirt by the brand Public Opinion. It sold for $9 plus shipping. Got another question, and this one's from Charles Adkins. He says he just found the channel, thanks for the great info, and he's wondering actually about the poly bags that I use to hold my inventory. So I use this clear poly bag here. This is the 12 by 15. Actually 10 by 13, sorry. This is the 10 by 13 clear poly bag. This fits about 90% of my items. And when I need something a bit bigger, I go for this guy right here. This is the 13 by 16 clear poly bag, and this fits things like bigger size jeans, jackets, and sweaters. So those are the two bags that are my go-to. You can find them linked below, and they come out to about 8 cents per bag when you buy over a couple hundred of them. I let this go for a little too cheap, but that's okay because I only paid 50 cents for this. This is a Carolina Nike men's pullover hoodie, sold for $12 plus shipping. It's got plenty of stains on the front and back, but whenever I see sports teams with the Nike, I'm definitely going to be picking it up. I could have priced this probably for around $27, but I didn't, and I accepted a best offer of 12 bucks. So another sweater sold by the brand Lou and Gray. This is a women's extra small sweater, sold for $10 plus shipping. So not a good brand at all. This is Simply Vera Wang women's blouse, still sold for $10 plus shipping. So I've been picking up a lot of scrubs lately. This is just a women's button-up scrubs by the brand Cherokee, still sold for 10 bucks plus shipping. So the really main goal of the video is to get you to start knowing how much money you're making per hour. How much time you're spending on your reselling life. Are you putting in 80 hours a week and still only making $200 a week in sales? Are you spending 10 hours a week and making $1,000 a week in sales? You need to figure out and do the math on how much money you're making per hour just to know that you can measure and track your progress. It's okay if you only make $15, $16 an hour to start, and just know that as you get faster, as you start getting more knowledgeable about brands and products that are in your area, you're going to start raising your average sale price. You're going to start minimizing the time it's going to take for you to list 10, 20, 30 items. Thus, your money per hour should go up, right? So just figuring out, do some math. It's important to know your numbers in your business like the back of your hand. Your average sale price, your cost of goods, how much money you're making per month on shipping. Really start to look at the numbers. Even if you're not a numbers person, it's important to know a few key numbers to know how you could track your progress. So, as you know, I pick up pretty much the same items over and over again. These are 2 Champion women's tops, both size large, sold for $21 plus shipping. It's really important to pick up similar items time and time again that continue to sell in your store. Why? Because you are doing that in hopes that you can get combined orders, so you can also save the buyer on shipping and you can make a little bit more money per order. So this is a nice little order here, nothing special. Here's a pretty good example of a very bad brand, but something that I would typically be picking up. That's convertible cargo pants. These are White Sierra convertibles, still sold for $14 plus shipping. Here's some new with tag Rustler jeans. These sold for $15 plus shipping. Rustler is not a good brand at all. But if you're able to find it new with tags, and if you're able to find it for less than $1, then that's gonna be a beautiful sale right there. All right, here we go. We got some Eileen Fisher women's pull-on pants, sold for $13 plus shipping. They did have a little spot right there, but here's another reason why I'm picking up linen. So Eileen Fisher, I'm picking up most things by her. But if they are linen, I'm definitely going to be grabbing them. I probably could have gotten a bit more for these, but since they have the slight defect, I'm willing to let them go sooner rather than later. So here's a brand that we can find every day, right? This is Columbia, but this is a Columbia Interchange titanium fleece vest that's sold for $18 plus shipping. So there are certain models within certain brands that you do want to be on the lookout for. So anything titanium Columbia is going to command a little bit more money and have a slightly better sell-through rate. But typically Columbia products are slow sellers. This is a nice long knit cotton sweater by the brand Old Navy. It's still sold for $12.56 plus shipping. So this is a women's Nike polo, Oregon. I sold 2 of these for $25 plus shipping, another combined order. Here's another Nike men's polo, sold for $18 plus shipping. So I'm really happy I stocked up on swimming trunks and board shorts all during the winter, because these O'Neill swim trunks sold for $17.95 plus shipping. And that's a strategy that I implement year round, is I usually pick up jackets and sweaters and more heavy material items in the summer, because those items are usually being passed up. And then I'll pick up summer stuff in the winter, because people are usually avoiding swim trunks come December, right? So that's something that you can implement in your business, is start seeing what people are leaving behind, maybe at garage sales, thrift stores, the Goodwill outlet, and start doing the stuff that you'll be selling in summertime. Start picking that up in wintertime, because there's gonna be less competition. These men's cargo shorts by the brand Big Dogs sold for $17.95 plus shipping. And we had this men's Adidas backpack, kind of like a sport pack, sold for $8 plus shipping. If you're wanting a little bit of accountability, and maybe you need a little bit of help with finding inventory, structuring your titles, and how to create the perfect listing, well, you can find linked down below where Marcus Dixon and I with Dixon's Pickens are offering a reseller mentorship. It's a 7-day free trial, and that includes a reseller spreadsheet and an eBay store review. So our goal and mission is to help you go further faster by learning the mistakes that we made as full-time resellers and helping you avoid those mistakes. And you could join 34 other people growing their eBay stores, their reselling business, and really join the community. If you do feel like it's a fit and you do want to continue on after the 7 days, it's just $1 a day after that. If you want a more personalized coaching, we also offer that too, and that is every Wednesday we meet and help you maybe put a business plan together, help you find an inventory source where you can get consistent product. We love to be able to help you reach your goals, as this market is expected to double by 2027. So if you start now with the correct principles in mind, who knows where you'll be come 2027. So you can find it linked below. We'd love to see you there. So something fun I did recently this weekend is I bought a storage unit, just a simple 5x5 storage unit that I purchased. It was 99% clothes. We have some shoes and a sewing machine back there. But as you know, with buying storage units, you never know what you're gonna find. This is something that I'm experimenting in my business right now because I want to be able to figure out more of some alternative ways to source, right? And I have been buying storage units in the past. This time it's a bit different as I'm only gonna be bidding on storage units that have clothing only. So I use storage unit treasures, and they can be able to find storage units within about 100-200 mile radius to be able to put in a bid to buy these units. So in my area, there's hundreds of storage unit auctions going on throughout the day. So if I'm able to narrow down the storage units that I'm going to want to put a bid on, the ones I'm interested in are the ones with clothing. In talking to a storage unit manager the other day with this buyout, she said that clothing is typically the thing that is going to be left behind, or generally those storage unit auctions get 0 to no bids. So if you are a clothing reseller, you're going to want to probably check out at least experimenting with some storage unit auctions. So this was a 5x5 unit. It had 6 extra large U-Haul boxes, which came out to be about 222 pieces of clothing that is usable and sellable. And I discarded about 25 pieces that I wouldn't list in my store. Plus, I got a pair of AirPods, one was missing, and I got an iPhone case and a new sewing machine. So that's the cool part. It could have been a lot worse as far as, you know, not knowing what you're gonna get, but that's the thrill of the game, right? That's the fun of doing this. You need to have fun in your reselling business. If you're not having fun, why are you doing it? So you gotta have a little bit of fun. That for me is the fun that I get, is the thrill of the hunt, not knowing what exactly is in that storage unit. And you know, there's something to it, right? There's a feeling that you get because you never know what you're gonna find. And I think that everyone needs to take the time to breathe and have fun and enjoy your business. So sourcing for me has always been fun, and it usually is and can be fun for most other resellers. So that's kind of what I'm experimenting with. I'm gonna be buying a storage unit probably every 2 weeks, every month, depending on how many items are in that unit. All right, so we got these Levi's women's 577s with multiple holes, multiple stains, still sold for $12.56 plus shipping. Sold these men's bundled t-shirts by the brand CIN2, still sold for $8 plus shipping. These men's Ralph Lauren new tag denim jeans sold for $27.96 plus shipping. This women's long sleeve kind of lightweight sweater by the brand Carhartt sold for $10. Sold this Patagucci men's long sleeve polo for $27. Always an amazing brand to be picking up. This is the brand Hugo Boss. These are just some men's denim jeans. Sold for $77 plus shipping. And original buyer paid $155. These are some men's shorts by the brand Wrangler that are new with tags, sold for $12 plus shipping. This women's shirt by the brand Zacard sold for $9.95 plus shipping. Here is the label, if you can see it. Just a regular women's shirt. Another great reason to make that switch from a bin system to more of a sequential, organized, numerical system is this happens a couple times a week where I'll get an order of an old item. These express pants sold for $2 plus shipping. Very old inventory, but it's oftentimes on the bottom. So that's gonna take me a few extra minutes of digging around, moving some bins around, where if I had just started in the first place with this type of inventory system, I would avoid a lot of the digging and the hassles of moving bins around to find an item that literally sold for $2. So here's some Eddie Bauer women's joggers, size 10, that were new with tags, sold for $21.95 plus shipping. Here's a women's blouse by the brand Roper, sold for $7.96 plus shipping. And this women's J. Crew shirt sold for $8 plus shipping. If you're wanting to know what else is selling in my eBay store and the types of items that I'm continuing to pick up on a daily basis, you're gonna wanna check out this video right here. I do this because the next time you go out sourcing, maybe you can find some of those items as well. I hope you all have a blessed rest of the week and take care.